Okay, so the first design concept we're going to work on is from Cindy Seal. It says, I want to make an atlas for my mom. She's a quilter and would rather quilt than do anything else. She loves fall colors. So I have some sewing graphics pulled up, and I have it using the tools labeled for use with modification. I also have some quilting quotes pulled up, and I have some actual quilts pulled up because I think I want to put a quilt in the backdrop. So I've actually already picked one quilt out. I went ahead and just grabbed this one and I dragged it over to Photoshop, and it's hanging out here. So if you remember from last time, I guess I can redo it. You drag it over or download it and then open it. Sorry, I did that incorrectly. Click on it first, let it pull up the bigger option, and then drag over, and it's going to give you one to work with here. Okay, I went ahead and picked what I wanted to be on the quilt, but I'll do it again. I liked this blue in here and the orange over here. These colors, I thought they were just pretty fall colors. So we're going to draw our selection, and I'm going to try to center that blue one. And you know what? I think I want to grab a little more of that. And I want to grab that whole selection of. Okay, so I'm going to grab that whole shape right there, these segments, and kind of center it in there. That looks good to me. And then select inverse. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the rest. Push OK, image trim. Okay, so now we have our background for what is going to be our necklace. And on the quotes, I went ahead and went through these, and I like the when life gives you scraps, make a quilt. So I went ahead and I actually did one for that. But for this quilt, I actually wanted to focus on this quilt. It says, what I make with my hands, I give with my heart. So we're going to go ahead and have the layer here with the text. What I make of my hands. Let's go ahead and, let's go ahead and select this and make it much smaller so we can see what we're working with here. What I make with my hands, I give of my heart. We can even put a graphic here for heart. So it just kind of depends on where we're at and what we like. So I think I actually want to do that. Let's make this a color that we can actually see. So sometimes I like to play around with the colors to see what's going to show up best. And then let's go find a font that we like. We're not going to use that one. You can either do a nice script here. I would go with a bolder font because of the busy background. You want something that's going to show up nicely. But you also want something that's going to look okay on a meshed up quilt. So like this is kind of looks strange in a quilt background. And if you can find a script that's going to show up, that works. So I kind of like this one right here. And let's go ahead and do a faux bold on that. What a faux bold means is Photoshop bolds the text for you because the text doesn't actually come in a bold format. So what I make on my hands, I give of my, and let's get a shape here. So go down to this tool, the custom shape tool, and let's make it into an actual shape, not a path. And then come over here to the shapes, and we're going to pick out a heart. Okay, and let's pick a color on this quilt that we want our heart to be. So we have this nice blue over here. So let's grab that and then do our shape in that blue. So there we go. And let's go ahead and center it down here at the bottom. It looks like that maybe, yeah, we don't want to, well, actually, it looks kind of stitched, so let's go ahead and leave it on there like that. And let's make it just a little bit thicker so you can see it, and not that thick. Here, let's see. That will look good right there. And since we have that orange right there, let's go ahead and center it in the orange, and we'll do everything else accordingly, like it's actually stitched onto our blanket. Okay, let's see, how off is that going to be? And we will actually adjust our circle accordingly. So this will be centered and where we want it on the orange. Okay, so now that we have that, you can play with your text a little. You can come up here, there's all these, okay, if you do that, you can't have the faux bold on it, but you can have the bulge, so you can make it go down, bend up. You can convert it however you want here. I don't know if it's really necessary with this one though, so we'll just leave it how it was. Sorry guys. Okay. Like I said before, you can also play with your background. So let's drag this down here and create a new layer. When you click on this that says normal, this gives you all sorts of different options. So basically these were different terms that were used in a darkroom for photo processing, and they're now converted for when working in Photoshop. So at some point I'm going to go through all these options so you can kind of see the different ones that they do. But as your background is layered, it's basically converting the colors in a way. And so sometimes you want something just a little darker to mess with, or you want something a little lighter. And you can just go through these and mess with them and see what you like. And sometimes you can do a hard mix, and then you can come over here and you can change the opacity. So the base sometimes shines through still. And then from there it goes into the different, and actually these are on PixArt as well, so you can play with them there as well. There they are. And we just want to do the multiply one because it's going to give us a darker background that our white shows up on a little better. And let's see if our shape, I think, let's give our shape some texture here. So I double clicked on it, it brings up the layer style, and let's kind of emboss it on there, if you will. Let's just make it a little more shallow. Okay. Here are the different options so you guys can see. We're going to do it smooth. We're going to do the depth just a little bit, and you can play around with this. You can see the different options because it's going to show you in preview. Now that we have that, let's go ahead and make that heart just a little bit smaller. Okay. From here, let's actually, I feel like the top text is just a little boring still, so let's see if we can find a font that sticks out a little more, or So nothing's really sticking out to me. Okay, so let's try something else with our text. Let's copy it and let's turn this layer off for now. I'm going to do a circle text. So I'm going to hold this down, get my ellipse tool, do path. I'm going to go out from the center here and have that. I'm going to do my text, paste. Okay, so what I make of my hands, let's go ahead and put a comma, I give of my heart. And we actually don't want to type out heart. So let's change our sizing here. Go down to 12 maybe. 12? Yeah, there we go. And then let's swing this around here. So you want that circle to be around the heart. And we're going to adjust accordingly. So we have what I make of my hands, I give of my heart. Okay. Let's go ahead and recrop a circle here since we kind of changed our design. We don't want that much around the edge. Maybe a little more than that though. Okay. Always leave plenty of edge to work with in case you don't want the locket to cut off things. So let's go to just select inverse, get rid of that. Sorry. Click on the background because that's where the coloring is. And then image trim. Okay, and so we have all of this. What I'm making my hands, I give of my heart. And one thing we can also do, you can add a little feature here in the middle. So I think I saw some scissors over here, or needle and thread. Where are the scissors at? Let's see if these are, okay, these, what about these? Okay, these are the ones I think I want. We're going to move these over here. And we're going to put the scissors right here in the middle. And I'm going to go get that needle and thread as well. Okay, so needle and thread right here. Let's see if it has a transparent background. Okay, it does. This checkered background, it means it's transparent. So that means you'll be able to drag it into your document. Oh, sorry guys, after you click this. You'll be able to drag it in and it's not going to take any of that white background. So it's kind of nifty to work with. And we're going to put the needle and thread just over the top of it like that. You can actually put it down here by your heart as well. Let's put it up here at the top. So from there, just kind of play around with it. Move your needle around, see what looks good. You can put your needle down here on the heart. You can add it up there. You can make it like it's finishing a stitch. The scissors, since they're going to be the only thing up here, let's go ahead and make them a little bigger. And let's see if we can find like a spool of thread. So let's go here. There's one spool of thread. We want just the thread. So here we go. Let's bring that down here. Okay, so there you go. And then you just save it as an image and you'll be able to put it on a necklace.